So originally, the first headline of this podcast was going to be some good news for PlayStation fans. Finally, right? Because it's felt like I've been coming on here week after week and just shitting on the PlayStation. When the truth is, yeah, I've been doing that, but it's been warranted. And right now, there's some good news floating around out there. Some of it is fluff. Some of it is real. We're going to discuss that. But before we get to that, we got to talk about Tunic. Because this brand new gameplay was released. In the intro of this podcast, I said it was 15 to 10 minutes. Wrong. Actually, it was, to be exact, 8 minutes and 44 seconds. And this gameplay in 8 minutes and 44 seconds did a whole lot to get me excited for the release of this game. Now, this game, if I'm not mistaken, has been being developed by one person the whole time, even though they got like this exclusive deal with Microsoft. It's not a situation where it was like, here's some developers to help you finish this game. No, it's like, we love what you're doing. We want to back it, and we want it to come directly into Game Pass. It's one of those idea Xbox games, and it looks great, man. Everything that you've heard everyone say about this game from the first initial reveal, which was about 3 years ago, I want to say, that reveal instantly made everybody get feels of The Legend of Zelda. OG Legend of Zelda, top-down Legend of Zelda, or like some people like to call it, 2D Legend of Zelda. Links to the Past, Link's Awakening, Minish Cap, Links Between Worlds, and all of that good stuff. Link's Awakening, like you've recently seen on the Nintendo Switch, which that is probably the game that you can most easily compare to this game visually, but this game has a look that's very distinct to this series right here, Tunic. And the look is, I guess I'll just steal this from my girl, who said basically everything in this game looks spongy in a good way. And I was like, yeah, that's the best way to describe it. I was thinking more fluffy. She said spongy. And I feel like spongy kind of describes it way better from the grass and things like that, and just the way the enemies animate. But the gameplay was good, man. I really enjoyed this gameplay. You got hearts there for your health bar, and you got a stamina bar, just like in modern Zelda games since basically Skyward Sword. So yeah, pretty cool. I mean, the game basically, the gameplay here, they show the character, the little Tunic character. I don't know if his name is Tunic. Let's just call him Tunic. Tunic the fox here. They showed him get a stick first, basically very Zelda-like, and then eventually, you find your sword, you get your sword, so now you can access new areas because previously you couldn't cut down certain tall grass. And then eventually in the gameplay, you see the the person playing, actually unlock the shield. So now you got your shield and your sword. By the time the gameplay gets to the end, though, I'm like, I don't know if this is the creator of the game playing it, like I said, or IGN. I want to guess it's IGN because at the end, I felt like you had to use the shield instead of dodge, but the person playing just kept dodging and then just basically died, and that's the way the gameplay ended, which could have been purposefully done. But yeah, I really just like the way the game looks, from the save stations being statues, like these fox-like statues. Really cool. Just everything about it. The movement is cool. And I'm guessing since you got a stamina meter, that you're going to be able to upgrade that so that you can, whether it's, it depends what actually is going to use that stamina meter, a lot. Because right now, from the looks of it, it's basically just your dodge roll takes up stamina. But if you might get like some kind of running situation, and then you'll be able to, use that, basically the stamina meter for that, for your running. So then you'll have to manage, like, all right, I'm gonna run now, but then I also need some stamina to dodge just in case I run into something. So all of that is gonna be something that's gonna be something that you got to consider when you're playing this game, which is really cool. There was one part in this gameplay where they basically went through tall grass. I keep saying they, he, whoever, the game, man, the footage. The person playing, the little Tunic, went to area basically after cutting some tall grass where there was like these two ring wraith looking characters, just black hooded characters, and they were just shooting like actual, like, I don't know, it was like old school weapons, you know what I mean, but just shooting a gun. It would look like a gun basically, and you didn't have your shield yet, so clearly you need your shield there to dodge, or to block that, you know what I'm saying, because you can't really dodge the shots. They were pretty damn good with the aim. So yeah, the gameplay basically winds down once Tunic here gets his shield, which was like, damn, I wanted to see more. But just the mechanics opening the doors, like these long bars that you got to toss up, and then it basically, hit some kind of gear in order to open doors. Like, really cool. And then, like, just the enemy interactions, the enemy designs are real cool already from the regular basic grunts you see around. I also like the fact that item drops basically function like in Doom, where like you kill an enemy from far away, you'll see everything just drop out of them. But once you get close, it all just basically flies into you, which is really cool. So if you kill an enemy, for example, and a bunch of gems fall off like the edge of the stage, if you're right there, they'll fall down, but then they'll just zoom right back up at you. So you'll collect everything. It's not like you'll miss out on collecting certain things. And I like that in games like this. I like it in Doom Eternal, and I like it in this game. Like, just everything about the footage that they showed of this game was really cool. Every time they run into an enemy, you can see like the left trigger pop up. So I'm guessing that's either like a lock on situation, but it could also be the dodge. I'm not really sure because I don't got the controller in my hand. But the way items function from the little teasers, like not teasers, but the little moments that you actually see whoever's playing open up the menu, like items basically work just like in those old school Zelda games also, which is really cool. And that's not even an old school Zelda thing. That's still even modern games where you got, your buttons, 3 buttons, and you can put 3 items there. But yeah, man, this boss at the end, like the whole area, every area you in, I like the way they make it feel real dense with the lighting coming, basically through the trees. So it gives you an effect that you're really deep in the forest. And then like the last area where you're fighting, like the statue come to life, you got like grass and leaves falling down. So it gives everything like a very living feeling to it. Like, so I'm really impressed by it. And yeah, Tunic can't come out, soon enough. The game just looks fantastic, continues to look fantastic, and I can't wait to play. And that's a series exclusive that I'm really looking forward to playing. Like for real. Like that's one of the ones. It's funny because people are always hyping up these big, like for example, right now Returnal's getting hyped up, and I'm not trying to even take nothing away from this game, but I know for a fact if that game wasn't exclusive to PlayStation, it wouldn't be getting the amount of hype it's getting right now. And there's nothing wrong with that. You know what I'm saying? It's the same thing with Nintendo. It's the same thing with Xbox. You being exclusive, gives your game a little bit more behind it because it's tied to one thing. That's just the way it works. The word exclusive being attached to something automatically gives something more value. I understand that. But if you, have like a Returnal and then you say, oh yeah, I'm more excited for something like Tunic or like the Gunk, versus... But and this is not even like exclusive to Xbox. Like it's the same thing with PlayStation. Like to me, the best PlayStation 5 games are indie looking games. Well, not indie looking games, are indie games that look great, that look way better than indie games. That's what I try to say right there real quick. You know what I'm saying? They're indie games that are punching way above their, label. Let's just say that. And I even would say the same with Tunic, where some people be like, oh, it's just a little top down. Like super hype for this game, 12 minutes. Stuff like Little Devil Inside on PlayStation 5 to me is just jaw-droppingly beautiful. Again, the Gunk, you know what I mean? Like indies are killing it right now, and that's just everywhere. Because even if you think of stuff like Silk Song, it's a sequel to Hollow Knight. That's big. You know what I'm saying? For a lot of people, that's gonna be real big, and for others, it's just not gonna be. You know what I'm saying? People value exclusive differently, and I say all that to say basically that this is one of my most anticipated games. You know what I mean? And it's the kind of exclusives that I want to see on Xbox. As a diehard Nintendo fan, you ain't never gonna hear me complaining about Xbox exclusives that fit right in with the Nintendo style games that I love. Stuff like the Gunk, stuff like Tunic right here, you know what I mean? Like that's what I want to see more and more from Xbox, alongside your Horizons 5, which is coming out I don't know when, but Motorsport, Halo games, Gears games, like I love this kind of exclusive, you know what I'm saying? And these things blowing up like Ori Will and the Wisp. That's like Ori was one of the first Xbox games that really started putting me in good graces with Xbox. You know what I'm saying? When I was like, yeah, see, they make those style of exclusives, I'm with it. Like I was there immediately with Ori. I didn't need an Xbox to play, which was a good thing. You know what I'm saying? But it still got me into the ecosystem, I want to say, eventually, because of the good work they did there. You know what I'm saying? And just the ecosystem being great, first and foremost, was worth jumping into back then. Now even more so. Like if you're not in it, I don't even understand what you're doing. But anyway, Tunic looks fantastic, man. And I can't wait for this. Like this to me could easily turn out to be my personal game of the year. You know what I'm saying? And that's all that matters at the end of the day. What you love the most. I don't care what everybody else running their lips about. Oh, this, that. Like, bro, this right here. Could be. It's no different from like Little Devil Inside. That game to me looks stunning. When I saw it at the PlayStation event, I was like, yo, that and Kena look fantastic, right? Now, those two games can come out, let's say, right, in the same year, because they PlayStation games. Let's just say the two announced games that, are the big ones, which is Horizon Zero Dawn and God of War. Let's say those come out, right, in the same year. All those games. Like, I wouldn't be surprised if for me, like, yeah, I prefer Little Devil Inside over those, you know what I mean? Like, or Akina potentially. And some people be like, that's crazy, or on the Xbox side, it could be like, yo, my favorite games of the year was 12 minutes and Tunic. And they're like, what? Versus, and you know what I mean? And then give you a list of these big AAA games versus Halo versus, and it's like, yeah, like, yo, these games are just my type of shit. You know what I'm saying? So I just like them better. And that's cool. Variety, man. Variety is a beautiful thing. And speaking of variety, a little segue right here. You will have a lot of variety if you don't go around closing your previous console stores if you're not focusing on bringing every single piece of software from the previous store over to the new store. Honestly, there shouldn't even be a new store. The store should remain, and the console and the power should change, but the store should be constant. That's basically what Xbox is doing now, which is great, right? And they should be, commended for that because it's something that everybody should follow. It's what PC's done. It's what they're doing. Awesome. So Sony, they were going to close down their stores, and I gave them a lot of shit for that. Rightfully so, like I would have did Nintendo, like I would have did Xbox. Hell, I did do that for Nintendo when they were closing down Wii stores and stuff like that. I'm like, you going to close shit before you even bring stuff over? What about lost wins and this, that, and this, that? All these games are going to be lost. Yeah, I really did that back then. Like, I don't just go around wanting to hate on shit. Like, no, on the contrary. I just call out the bullshit. And then people be like, you hating. I'm not hating. If I shit on Nintendo Switch Online, you best believe I'm shitting on it because it's trash. If I shit on the PlayStation 5, you best believe I'm shitting on it because all of their moves since launch have been trash. Like I said last week, all the sales in the world don't matter if all the news surrounding this thing is trash. Like we know, and I've always said, this thing is going to sell like crazy day one. I would be crazy to think anything less. You understand? Like, it's going to be the fast selling console. This all was said early last year. You get what I'm saying? Early 2020, like January, February. When the PlayStation 5 come out, it's going to be crazy. You know what I'm saying? There's no way that the Xbox, no matter how good it is going to be able to outsell it because of all the goodwill they got going into this generation. This is all normal stuff. See, is that people be so much in their feelings that they hate hearing the truth about their thing. And if you go back to those videos where I was going in on the PlayStation, everything I said there is true. Except this now. The fact that they're dropping the whole dropping of the PlayStation store. So PSN's closure, that's not happening. Everything is going to stay open, and that's great. But here's my thing. And this is the same thing I said about Xbox. When Xbox announced that they wanted to raise the price of Xbox Live earlier this year, right? Everybody went crazy, rightfully so. Shit was crazy. I understood what they were trying to do. It was like, let's make this shit look so unappealing that people just gonna get Game Pass Ultimate. I don't know why. I want to believe so that hopefully once everybody's transitioned to Ultimate, we could just get rid of Live and we got everybody in here. That's what you would like to believe, right? Right? But if you were to ask me, like, do you believe that, Red? No, because if they got constant revenue there, even if it's only 5 million people, let's say at the end of the day, with Xbox Live, and all of the other Xbox, Live people, which Microsoft claimed was like, what was it, like 200 million people with Xbox Live. Let's play with that number real quick. Let's say it was 2 million people who switched over to Game Pass Ultimate, right? And you only have 5 million people spending the yearly, $60 to get Xbox Live. I still don't see Microsoft being like, yeah, let's shut it down. They're going to be like, nah, we want those 5 million people's $50 yearly. You know what I mean? So I wouldn't, try to paint some false potential positive here where it's like, oh yeah, if they get all the people in Game Pass Ultimate, Xbox Live will go away. I don't know that. You don't know that. Let's be real. It's a corporation at the end of the day. Money speaks more than anything. If I had to be a better man, I'd say they keep that. They'll keep that shit right there. Even if there's only a few people using it. But anyway, right? This is basically what I felt about the Xbox situation. Like, all right, cool. I understand what they were trying to do. They went about it wrong. But here's the thing what I said. They're not doing this now. They're not going to raise the Xbox Live price to this astronomical, stupid-ass number, right? But you best believe the goal is still in play. They still want to transition all those Xbox Live people to Ultimate. And what did I say back then when I said, oh, the way they went about it was crazy? I said the way to go about this is sheer content. You just drop content. That's what's going to make people get Game Pass Ultimate. You're seeing it happen more and more. From when the Xbox launched to now, I think they've gained like 4 million brand new, Game Pass members, which I was going to talk about later on in this podcast. But I guess I'll talk about it right now for the simple fact that Game Pass is now 23 million strong. And what we last heard was 18. You know what I'm saying? Something like that. It was like 18 or 19 around there. So it's going up. This is the way you're going to do it. Through content, through Tunic coming out, The Gunk coming out, Flight Simulator coming out on console, Halo Infinite, and then that continuing to get more and more content and grow into a giant thing. Having stuff like Destiny there and all of EA stuff is great. You know what I mean? Potentially putting Uplay stuff in there. There's been rumors of that. That's the kind of stuff that's going to get the number to go up, up, and get people to be like, yeah, why the hell am I just paying for Xbox Live when I should just be getting Ultimate? You know what I'm saying? And I think that'll make people transition. Not even I know it will. And you're seeing it already. You know what I mean? But the whole, let's try to do it fast and get people to, nah, you can't do it like that. This whole thing from Game Pass to xCloud, all of that is going to take time, especially xCloud. xCloud is only going to get better with the better technology to make latency go away, because that's a big thing. And I'm going to talk about xCloud later on, seeing that as I got into the beta for now the PC xCloud and the iOS xCloud and all that. So I've been using that, testing it out. I'll talk about that a bit later. But yeah, things are only going to get better basically with time. And that's just the way it's going to go. You know what I'm saying? Like, you could try to like bogart your way into making your customers like, oh yeah, upgrade to this. It's better. I'm telling you it's better. You know what I'm saying? They're going to have to see it basically through content. Like, you trying to force them, all they're going to see is the number. Like, what? You raising the price? Nobody's going to see, like, oh, yeah, but this over here, you should be doing this over here, which is Game Pass Ultimate. It ain't going to happen, right? So, going back to PlayStation, I say all that to say, yeah, you best believe the goal is still there, which is shutting all that shit down. See, Microsoft didn't carry everything over. Everybody likes to talk about this kumbaya land where everything from Xbox carry. Nah, that's not the truth. And I've never, ever said that was the truth. You know what I'm saying? But after everything was basically said and done, like, yeah, they didn't take all the Xbox One games because of contracts, licensing issues, whatever the case may be. So they got, what was it, like a couple hundred of them? Cool. 360 was way easier where they got most of it. Xbox One is all of it. And then, obviously, this console will be everything. So what they got now is everything. That's basically the legacy of Xbox they could keep. So basically, they couldn't go back there and go get, let's get the Raw game from WWE. You know what I'm saying? Like, all of that, it would probably, be too many corporations involved with that. So certain things got to just stay behind, whether it's, Turtles in Time, or like Scott Pilgrim was lost for a little while. You know what I mean? Yeah, they basically took what they could, and then now they're like, yeah, this is what we got, and we're moving forward, basically. This was the start of the PC console experience. PC gaming, the shit goes all the way back because PC gaming is PC gaming. The rules really never changed. I mean, yeah, Steam came and other, ways you can buy your games there, but it's PC. You got it on your PC, you got it. You throw away your PC, get a new PC, sign in, you got your shit. You know what I'm saying? And that's what Xbox is doing now. Sony still hasn't shown any sign of doing that. You see what I'm saying? And they aren't. They're just going to wait, and then they're just going to close them and be like, yeah, that's it, it's done. You know what I'm saying? They're going to move on. Hopefully, they'll prove me wrong, and they actually say, you know what, since we're not closing them, let's see if we can like just fold everything into everything. Like, there was a time, I want to say, when I first got the Xbox One X, like, it changed after the new store came. But there was a time where when you was going to redeem your Games with Gold games, some of those games was always either a 360 game or Xbox One game, right? Original Xbox One, the real shit, the OG. When you would go to get those games, it would take you into the old 360 store. And I know because I had a 360. It would take you into like an old 360 store to download those games. And I'm like, holy shit, it literally turns your Xbox One into a 360. No different from when your Wii U used to turn into a Wii when you used to go into the Wii side of it, right? And I was like, that's crazy. But then throughout the years, since 2018, it all got folded into Xbox One. So you don't see the 360 store no more. You go to get a 360 game, like let's say Street Fighter 4, for example, right? Which I own. And I forgot why I re-downloaded that game not too long ago. But when I re-downloaded it, was just right through what looks like the new, Series X and Xbox One store. Everything got folded into it. That's what I want PlayStation to do. Do I think they're going to do that? Hell no. Because they don't care. Like, they've shown 100% that they do not care about your legacy games. They've done it multiple times already, and Nintendo's guilty of this too. Like, this is not just me trying to hate on Sony. This is just a reality, you know what I'm saying? So, I have no doubt that they're just gonna end up shutting these things down eventually, and nothing will change. The backwards compatibility thing, will they care? Will they take all of this complaining? Because the complaining wasn't just, oh, you're shutting down the stores. It's the way they're treating gaming. The fact that it's like, yeah, 2,000 games are gonna completely be just gone and exclusive to Xbox, right? And then others were just gonna be gone forever. They weren't on PC, they weren't on anything, so they were just gonna be lost to time because they were gonna shut everything down. And that's still gonna be the case. Like games that I named before, I think Lost Winds are like on Android and stuff like that, like on phones. Those games, and I still have them downloaded on my Wii U and everything. But those games are lost. Like those original versions with Wii Remote, like Kindred Spirit, that Icarian, whatever the hell the name of that game was, which I love, on WiiWare also. Like those games are gone forever, and that shouldn't be the case. You know what I'm saying? Like you should be able to go in and buy whatever you want. If it existed at one point, you should be able to pick it up. I mean, in the perfect world, that's the way it works now with movies and shit like that. But hey, like some gamers, hey, I don't care, I ain't going back to play that, but then they'll buy remasters because nostalgia, like weirdos, man, straight up. So yeah, what else was out there in the realm of PlayStation before I move on? Yeah, they claim that they're interested in acquisitions, which I'm a look. This right here is fluff. You see what I'm saying? Like there's been a lot of negative negative PlayStation news and a lot of positive Xbox news. So I already knew that this was gonna happen. That I'm like, yeah, they're gonna put out fluff pieces now to make it seem like, because it's not gonna. Listen, man, if there was real tangible stuff, they would have been doing it just like Xbox. But there isn't, and this is the reason why they're not going to E3. I know you can say, oh, they're gonna do a show around that. You don't know that. You talking out your ass right now. But what I'm saying is a fact. They're not going to E3. You get what I'm saying? Now, here's the not fact part, but it's what I believe. They're not going to E3 because they ain't got shit to show. They got delays to announce, but they ain't got shit to show worth a damn. Not saying they can show stuff. Everybody can show stuff. Whether you're gonna play that stuff in this lifetime is a whole nother thing. Bayonetta 3, Metroid Prime 4. I'm just being real. Hell, Tunic, what I was just talking about. You know what I mean? Like that game we've been seeing forever. Games take time to make. I get it, but this is just the reality. Like Xbox does acquisition. That we're interested in acquisitions too. Like sure, you know what I mean? Cool story, bro. And then Jim Ryan said, we have been quietly but steadily investing in high-quality games for PlayStation, and we will make sure that the PlayStation 5 generation will have more dedicated software than ever before. People run with this like, oh my God, it's going to have more exclusives than ever, because he said dedicated. Dedicated don't mean exclusive, bro. You got to learn through a bullshit. Like you got to learn to read through the bullshit. You know what I'm saying? Through the bullshit talk. He bullshitting you right now. Here's what he actually meant. We have been quietly but steadily investing in high-quality games for PlayStation. Okay, I'm going to break that down for you. They've been making games. God of War, Horizon. They'll make some other shit, definitely this generation, like they do every generation. I would say about 5 games every generation that come out. A bunch of PlayStation fans hype. They don't do very well, and then the developer completely gets obliterated. No, they don't get a second chance. They're gone. Sony has done this every single generation. It's what I mostly hate about them. You can't even try to like their shit, because if it don't do well, and they're well, who knows what it is? You ain't gonna get more of it. You understand? So, yeah, it's done. And listen, this is not exclusive to Sony, right? But it's worse for Sony because it's like one and done, and then the developer gets killed off. At least when Nintendo was like, yo, we tried a bunch of Star Fox games, a bunch of F-Zero games, a bunch of Metroid games, and then, yeah, they ain't work. Did those developers get fired and killed off, the whole studio? Nah, they still there. They're doing other good work. Oh, cool. That's what I like to see. At least when I'm back in that company, I can feel like, yeah, if this don't do well, I know the people ain't going to get taken out back. You know what I'm saying? It may look at the flowers. Like, that's not going to happen. But with PlayStation Land, it's literally consistently. Or do I need to bring up Days Gone, the fact that the director ain't there? Like, you see what I'm saying? Like, this is what happens. The whole Japan shit, like, it's real weird. But we in a real weird time where people just want, like, listen, I've been talking about this for a long time, right? On Patreon all the time. Like, we in this industry where people want to see PlayStation win because they grew up with PlayStation. The way I grew up with Nintendo, a lot of these guys, their Nintendo is PlayStation. And I get that. You know what I'm saying? I 100% get that. They act like it's the same. It's not. Your exclusives are brand new to you, bro. You just got into the wave of actually liking exclusives because you didn't give a fuck about no Parappa the Rapper. And most of the stuff that you got so common, was you even playing those? Probably not. You know what I'm saying? Like, gone. Jack and Daxter, gone. At least when the Nintendo stuff, I know I was a fan then. I know why I'm a fan now. Like, I understand why a Sony fan to be a Sony fan die hard, but damn. Like, I just look at the fuckery that they've pulled all throughout their existence, and it all get covered up and pampered by this industry, and that'll never change, and that's where we at still today. I'm gonna give you another example. This week, they announced some shit where, not even an announcement, just, in PlayStation Land, this place I like to call PlayStation Land, Reset Era. They try to make it into a thing where it was like, yo, Sony's gonna be doing this, indie show, like they're a backer of this indie show. So is Nintendo, so is Xbox. No need to bring up Sony. We know Sony does good indie work. See, this is the thing. There's been so much negative on Sony shit where Sony fans don't even know how to defend their own damn product. Where they're like, see, everybody acting like Sony don't care about Japan. They don't. They got rid of everybody. What you mean? Nobody said that they weren't gonna be nickel and diamond and paying so that their games can look up to par. Instead of paying for the actual hardware to be up to par with the Series X, nah, they just gonna pay for exclusive rights to tiny little trinkets in the game, early beta, Resident Evil, and yeah, don't make the game look better on Xbox. That's what we're paying for mainly. It's all about Xbox, like I've been saying for over a year. Like, every move Sony make has been basically a reaction to Xbox. It's like, yeah, we're gonna do this. Why? So the Xbox players don't get it. That's why they did the whole 2 Bethesda games. Like, yeah, we got exclusivity for those, and look at our PlayStation event. Look at all the exclusives we got, which weren't made by them, but still, it's exclusive to PlayStation. It's exclusive. No different from the Xbox game I name, like the Gun Tunic, 12 minutes. It's exclusive. It's exclusive. Cool. Until it's not, and instead now it's a Microsoft game, literally owned completely by Microsoft, and will be on Xbox, fully featured with more content and sequels in the future, exclusively on Xbox. You know what I'm saying? Like, but hey, smart move, Sony. Like, that's the shit that they've been doing, like, the whole time. And I just look at every little move that they make right now, and I'm like, yeah, this is just fluff now. Now they're going to try to put in little stories out there into the media. First, you saw with the whole idea from the God of War creator, oh yeah, they're thinking about doing something Game Pass like bullshit, right? And now you get, oh yeah, we're working on high quality game. Of course you are. Nintendo is, Xbox is, you are. Y'all supposed to. Y'all got a console out. So you saying, yeah, we're investing in high quality. That right there, the high quality line is the problem though. A lot of people believe Sony don't give a fuck about mid-tier games. So everything got to be AAA, and I get it. Some Sony fans going to be like, yeah. And I'm like, yeah, you're going to be waiting to the end of No, you're going to be waiting to the end of the generation. You know what I'm saying? To get your goddamn games out. You know what I mean? So yeah, like, high quality game. Okay, cool. Because if it ain't high quality, it don't matter. Like I said, you know what I'm saying? I could say, oh yeah, Tunic is my game of the year. What? Over. And then people will start naming you all these big giant AAA games. Like, yo, you just can't accept the fact that I like this shit. You like that shit, How about you take your own advice, Red, and stop shitting on PlayStation 5 then? Because I like PlayStation 5 and you like Xbox. Well, I mean, if you want to make these same comparisons, but one of these things isn't sitting there nickel and diming you and not adding value to the reason why those games cost $70 when we in 2021, and now games have battle passes, season passes, and all kinds of passes out the asses in order for you to give them money. They already nickel and diming you, but now they want to nickel and dime you at the gate before you even in the club and buying drinks. That's what you want to defend. You want to defend the fact that they don't give a fuck about gaming, but then you'll claim to be the most hardcore game. I love gaming. Do you though? When you're fine with a company just completely wiping a ton of video games out because, hey, they're old. I don't care. Who wants to play that old stuff? Like Jim Ryan said, I'm just saying. It's not the same comparison, but if you want to do that, do that. We're talking about you like that game, I like this game. That's it. That's basic stuff. I'm good with that. But when people sitting there defending and acting like PlayStation is the king of kings, the best in the best in the world, like, for real? Why? What do they do? Oh, you hating. You know they make the best first-party games in the whole industry. Do they? Then why are all of them always bundled with the hardware in order to get those numbers up? Why do they always drop in price, unlike Animal Crossing and Breath of the Wild, which has been in the top 20 for the last since the Switch launch? Let's just say that it's easier. Huh? Where? The best first party what? RPGs? Because those are Xbox now, right? Doom, Halo. I mean, the list goes on. We could go Elder Scrolls. Like, these games, some of these games are going to be 10, 20 million sellers. But, hey, you went to sleep. Hey, listen, man, I don't know what world y'all living in, what cartoon world where it's like, they're so good. They're so good that I'm cool getting charged $70 for no reason, no apparent reason. They ain't give me no justifiable reason. I'm sure there's people in the industry will tell you, game prices haven't gone up in... Word? Yeah, but back then there wasn't no DLC, there wasn't no nickel and diamond and pass after pass. Am I wrong or am I right? You know what I'm saying? Like, these dudes is garbage, bro. Like, straight garbage. But that's just me, you know? That's just my opinion. I mean, it's factual shit, but it's just my opinion. You know what I'm saying? Anyway, yeah, so, where was I? Yeah, and we'll make sure the PlayStation 5 generation will have more dedicated software than ever. Like I said, man, just because it says more dedicated software don't actually mean that he's talking about exclusive, but people want to run with that. You know what I'm saying? Sure, I'm sure they're going to pay for a lot of stuff to knock them to Xbox now. They have to. That's all they can spend their money on. They can't outmuscle them with actual product. They just can't. Anybody who think they could after the 23 studios who aren't making 23 games, but if you add it up, they probably make like 50, 60. You understand what I'm saying? Like, it's just not. If everything goes according to plan, there's just no world where they're going to be able to just drown the market with constant content. You understand? And then that content is just going to be within Game Pass. So it's like, yeah, all we can do is spend our money to basically get time exclusivity or get DLC exclusive to us first and shit like that. Shit to keep stuff from them. So that hopefully people be like, oh yeah, you know what now? They get stuff late over there, so I'm going to just stay here with PlayStation. I'm going to pay full price, and I'm going to only be able to get this many games a year because games are $70 a year, and I ain't fucking rich, and I'm going to be like, yeah, that's cool. Great. You know what I'm saying? I probably played already. Well, where we at? We about to hit May. I probably played more games than people going to play on their PlayStation 5 in the next 5 years. You know what I'm saying? Like, already off Game Pass. And I mean, actually played and beat. Like, I'm almost done with the Reader Boy, so we're going to add that one to the list. You know what I mean? Like, the list just goes on now. Like, it's just crazy. But, again, we ain't actually talking about games, because if it was actually about video games, if people actually cared about video, then the whole conversation would be different. I wouldn't even be having to say these things. But these things need to be said because fanboys. You know what I'm saying? Live and breathe fanboys. But anyway, yeah, that Ryan dude has proven to be a liar. But people will still be like, you know what? I'm gonna. But then Phil Spencer will talk and be like, oh, yeah, he's always making promises. Word? Because everything that I've talked about since getting an Xbox is officially out. Like, I was talking about xCloud as what it is now before xCloud was even out on Android. On Patreon, this is what I was doing. You know what I'm saying? Like, the proof is there. And now we're here. Like, I'm literally about to give my impressions of playing an Xbox game on my computer without downloading it into my computer, anything. Yeah, you know, the Stadia shit. But basically that, through xCloud, you know, actual good console manufacturer with actual good policies and games and, you know. But hey, I'm going to support Stadia. Damn, how dumb you felt doing that. Anyway, yeah, man, like, I just laugh. Like, people still believe this Jim Ryan guy. Like, this dude just done nothing but lie, shit on legacy games. Like, everything about this guy is straight garbage. But just because I ride with PlayStation, so I'm going to ride for this loser. Like, all right, damn, you calling him a loser? I don't give a fuck. I'm going to call it exactly what it is. You lying to millions of people, you a loser, bruh. That's what it is. And I say that shit to his face. Like, yeah, I'm comfortable. Like, you must have me confused. You know what I mean? Like, straight up. Yeah, so all of this to me is just nothing but just trying to build a fake positive where there's no, like, yo, where's the Horizon footage at? Where's the God of War footage at? I mean, these games are coming out this year. Hell, Ratchet's supposed to come out in 2 months. What the footage of that? I mean, I know they don't need the show. It's just going to come out and still going to sell. I'm not oblivious to that. I'm just wondering where? But anyway, let's get into talking about actually, you know, the Game Pass xCloud beta for Windows 10 and Safari. Let me not say for iOS or whatever, because it's not like you could go in there and download something. It's a web page that once Microsoft gives your account access to, when you go to that web page, there's a button there that actually takes you to this private website, which is basically Game Pass, like it would be if they created a Fire Stick, like I was talking about in the past, or if they just have an app on your TV. This is the page that will open up on your TV. And I gotta say, considering that it's in beta right now, it just came out, it has some nice features in there. Like, there's a feature in there that it'll read out the dialogue of the games for you. Like, I guess for people who need that, there's a big picture mode, basically, you know, so that if you want to have that console-like experience, you got your big picture mode right there, where you can make it full screen. You can even use like the Shift plus G on Windows 10, which brings up the whole Xbox game bar, so you can start chats and parties and invite people to games and stuff like that. But like I said, it is a beta at the end of the day, so things aren't working perfect, and it is streaming games. Like, me personally, I'm not ever looking to do this, but it's still a cool feature. And I do use the streaming of the games on Android, for example, to do like Microsoft Rewards and stuff like that. But I have a One X, I have a Series X. If I'm gonna play Xbox, I'm gonna play it with no latency at all. Like, why would I do myself dirty? But the feature's cool, and it's real cool because in the future, it's just gonna make it far more of a easier entry point for Xbox games and all those big RPGs and all those giant exclusives that are going to come in the future. Giant, big, small, all kinds of exclusives, that are going to be coming to Xbox and stuff like that. So yeah, this is going to make the entry point to that very, very low. But I will say, like with experience, I will say this: Forza was like, I was playing Forza Horizon 4. The experience was like, the best way to describe it is if you ever had a capture card, if you ever try to play by looking at the actual capture, not the actual, game screen where your game is at, where you seeing it one to one, but through the caption, there's latency there. That's damn near what it felt like. And if you know what I'm talking about, then it's basically impossible to have any kind of good time with that kind of latency. So that's what Forza was like. But keep in mind that this is all beta, obviously. I played Streets of Rage. I played that actually 100% online. That went smooth as hell. I played that for about 3 stages, I want to say, on hard difficulty, and that was fun. You know what I'm saying? Like, I played through that really, really well, really, really good. Narita Boy, I played a bit. That played well too. I did a couple platforming sections, and I was like, yeah, I did that. Good money. All of that was fine. But there is a bit of latency that you're gonna, consider when you're playing. You're gonna say, oh yeah, let me, like if you running and then you're gonna jump, you're gonna do that a little bit earlier, because it might, or a little bit quicker, because you might be a little bit ahead of the actual game because of latency. So latency to me is the biggest problem. And every time after you play, they give you these different kinds of surveys, like different ones. Like sometimes it's, oh yeah, how many stars would you rate your experience? Then it gives you a questionnaire, or sometimes it just be a different kind of questionnaire. Really cool. So you can see that they're really taking this data and applying it. And most of my complaints was basically just that. It was just latency. Like, everything negative about this is latency. Like, I could sit there and complain that, oh yeah, it's the Xbox One S blades. They should change those to Xbox Series S. Yeah, they know that. I don't need to tell them that. They've already said as much, that they're going to upgrade those eventually, probably to Series X's in the future, which is great, because then your games are going to look fantastic. But yeah, man, like, just like playing these games with nothing is cool as hell. It feels really futuristic to be able to just be like, yeah, all my stuff, like, it's just like, yeah, jump back in. Like, it was just a list there of just jump back into all the games that I recently started. So that, yeah, just go back in and play. Matter of fact, I played MLB. I played a little bit more of my story mode in that, which I created myself in that game, man, funny. But I've been playing that game, and I'm trash. But, I still been playing it because I've been having fun playing a baseball game. Like, it's just been a while. It's been a long time. But I'm trash. I'm not going to lie. I've hit, like, 1 home run with my actual character. I've hit multiple home runs with other characters. But my character, I hit, like, 1 home run. Been on bases, like, 5 times in, like, 10 games. It's crazy, yo. And every single time I get on base, I try to steal a base and get out. Because I be, bugging. But it's fun, man. But, yeah, the beta is cool. Like, it's absolutely cool now. I'm an Android guy. My girl does the whole iOS thing, and I haven't actually tested it on her phone, so that's something I'll probably discuss next week on the podcast. But when it comes to doing it on my actual PC, I was like, yo, it's crazy that, like, stuff like I said, Streets of Rage, slower games to me right now are the best things you can play. These, big, like, AAA games, whatever. Yeah, you don't want to do that in xCloud at all, because it's just, right now, I feel like those are the ones with the most latency. Like Halo 5, I went on that. The latency in that was crazy. The latency felt like more playing it, with it. But keep in mind, this is a brand new beta versus like the xCloud within Game Pass that's on Android right now. It's still in beta, but it's clearly farther ahead than this. This is fairly, this is literally not fairly new. This shit is brand new. So yeah, I understand why it's not running as well as I want to say it would on my Android phone. But all in all, it's still just a cool experience to know that they're working on this so fast and getting shit, ready to go. Like, a lot of the stuff that Microsoft was talking about, that people, a year or two ago was like, oh yeah, this is stuff, they just told none of this is going to come in. I'm like, bro, like, it's happening already. Like, there's seeds here, there's seeds here, there's seeds here. And I will always be mentioning it. And it's like, yeah, nobody notices it until it's like, yo, advertisement, big picture in your face. And I'm like, yeah, I'm already utilizing this stuff. You know what I'm saying? And it wasn't like I was in the Xbox ecosystem forever. Like I got in, joined the Insiders program, and then just built up from there. You know, hit a certain level because there's different levels in there, tiers. And then it was like, yeah, here's access to the store early. Here's access to like a variety of things. You know what I mean? But there's other tiers that are higher than me. Like for example, there's a tier right now where they have a new Xbox Series X and S theme, which is super cool, right? And there's an update in there for Quick Resume, which for those of you who don't have a Series S or X, let me explain right now, like just real quick, everything about Quick Resume and why this update is great. So originally when I got the Series X and I reviewed it, I talked about Quick Resume and how like, oh yeah, certain games I don't understand why they just like get out of the Quick Resume state. And the reason for that was because you're playing on another console. You're going from playing on your Xbox Series X, and then you go to play on your One X, and you do a ton of stuff there. That when you come to your Series X, it already basically backed out once you started playing on your other console because you're creating new stuff there. So that when you come to your Series X, it's not gonna quick resume and it's like, oh shit, it quick resumed to before all of the before I completed that whole dungeon or I leveled up my character, 10 levels. So now I'm thrown all the way back. Nah, that's not gonna happen to you. It closes, you come back in, and it's like bam, quick sync, and you're back in. So that's what closes quick resume on you, just in case, if you don't know. So that was one of my issues. Other games that are online, if it has a hot fix or update or something like that, like a Call of Duty, it's going to close on you. You know what I'm saying? Or it'll close on you once you open it. It'll go in quick resume, and they'll be like, oh, update for that game, and then, it knocks you out, and you got to go back in. The point is, quick resume actually works all the time. Even when I thought it wasn't, it was me who was causing the games to close when I was playing on the other hardware. You know what I'm saying? With the same account, obviously. And now that I know all those things, and I understand, like, for example, certain games just don't use quick resume at all. Like Narita Boy. Narita Boy doesn't use quick resume at all. Like, there's no way to quick resume that game. But, you get in fairly quick, and I don't mind because the intro music to that game is literally one of the, I would say, top 10 greatest intros of any video game ever made. So I always chill in the menu, listen to the song a couple times. But anyway, yeah, quick resume. You can have a ton of games quick resume, but you don't know what's in quick resume. So let's say a month has gone by. You play Forza, you play Narita Boy, you play Call of Duty Warzone, you play Gears of War. You know what I'm saying? Like, just name the games. You don't know how many games you play. You don't even know how many games can actually be in quick resume. You don't know what games are there. This new update now is going to actually show what games are in quick resume. So then you can choose to close them when you want to. And they already added an update, like, I want to say 2 weeks ago, where when you're downloading the game now, if you want the game to download faster, there's a button there that basically says like suspend all games in quick resume, something along those lines, like, and it'll just close all of them, and then your game will just download faster. Which to me, download speeds on the Series X are ridiculously fast. Like, I don't know what it is, it's just fast to me. But I'm also not on Wi-Fi either. But anyway, the fact that now you're gonna be able to see what's in quick resume and then pick and choose what you want there, that's a great thing. The only thing that I would say from what I've seen of the footage right now is like, they should give a pin feature so that you can pin games so that game will never close. No matter how many games you open, that one game will never close. You know what I'm saying? Like, it'll always remain open. And of course, obviously, like I said, if you go on the other console and you play that game, it's gonna close on you no matter what. It's doing the right thing. It's doing what every gamer wants. You know what I'm saying? Get my goddamn save state, and it's doing that. So yeah, the fact that quick resume is getting an update, that's awesome. And I just want to say, like, that's actual announcements, news, not fluff. And that's what Xbox has been doing the whole time, whether it was getting a first party Sony game directly, what was a first party Sony game directly in Game Pass day one, MLB The Show, whether it's Outriders in there day one, whether it's the fact that they have quick resume, it's the fact that they have VRR, you know what I'm saying? Like, all these things, the fact that they have a Game Pass and games are going in there and people are seeing the value in the Xbox ecosystem versus the PlayStation one, whether it's the fact that they got Microsoft rewards and you could get games for dumb cheap, like Scott Pilgrim. I bought that for free basically with Microsoft reward points last week. You know what I'm saying? Played through the first stage of that. That game is pretty damn hard, I will say that. You know what I mean? But and the enemies are kind of spongy, I would say, in that game. Like, they take a lot of hits. Not spongy in the good way like Tunic. Spongy in the bad way. Like, take mad hits just to kill a basic enemy. But anyway, Yeah, man, these are the kinds of things that are making the heads turn and look at the Xbox side like, yo, there's a party going on over there. And you would be 100% right. It's definitely a party going on over here, and we got shit to look forward to. Whether it's Halo at the end of the year, whether it's actually having Microsoft show up at E3 with new stuff to show, whether it's acquisitions and stuff like that. Like, yo, it's crazy every time that I sit there and I think of the fact that it's like, yo, Doom, such an iconic series, yo. It's literally exclusive now to Microsoft. Like that shit is crazy. Like it's such an iconic series. I know I just said that, but it's true. Like it's up there. You know what I'm saying? Like with the real gods of this industry, with the real titans of this industry. Like many people wouldn't even question whether it was like, yo, put Doom guy on the Mount Rushmore of games alongside Mario, like a Tetris piece and shit, because of its place within the realm of video games, what it did for video games and everything. It's crazy, but it's real announcements coming out that are really just shifting a lot of odds this way. Let's just say, you know what I mean, and it ain't gonna stop. Whether it was with the announcement, the early announcement, earlier this year of FPS boost and games is getting better frame rates and stuff like that. And it was basically, yo, 30 frames per second games are gonna be 60 frames per second now. But this week, see, this is the kind of news that's real. It's not fluff. It's not, oh yeah, let's just say stuff now so that our fan base could be like, look, but it's nothing that you can actually interact with, nothing real that you're playing right now. It's just fluff. It's just words. That shit that they claim Phil Spencer did. That's what he's doing now, literally, what Phil Spencer actually never did. You know what I'm saying? Because it was real talk versus this bullshit that Jim Ryan is pulling. But y'all want to believe this goof? Do your thing. New FPS boost games announced. So, like I said, it was supposed to be 30 frames to 60 frames. Well, there's one 60 frames per second game here. One game that basically goes from 30 frames to 60 frames, and just in time because they just revealed the brand new DLC for Sea of Solitude, which, funny enough, I downloaded and I was like, I'm going to play after I beat Unraveled. And I did beat Unraveled. It was great, fantastic 2D side scroller. But Unraveled 2 now has a update 2, which is 120 frames per second for that game. Crazy. But anyway, let me go down the list. So you got Unraveled 2, these are all now 120 frames per second. All of these games that I'm gonna name: Unravel 2, Titanfall 2, Titanfall, Star Wars Battlefront 2, Plants vs Zombies Garden Warfare 2, which I actually own, Plants vs Zombies Garden Warfare, Plants vs Zombies Battle for Neighborville, which I think I own also, Mirror's Edge Catalyst, which I actually downloaded because I'm playing through Mirror's Edge 1 as we speak right now. Battlefield 5, Battlefield 4, Battlefield 1. All of those games right now on Series X are running at 120 frames per second. All of them. Only on that console. Or on PC also. But yeah, that's crazy. You know what I'm saying? Like your legacy games being able to run better than probably remasters would run if they remastered these games, because they'll be like, oh yeah, we upped the resolution a bit and da da da. So yeah, it's hitting 60 frames per second lot. You know what I'm saying? Like this is like, yo, they might drop the resolution here or whatever the case may be, but that 120 frames per second is literally taking advantage of these new TVs that everybody bought for their PlayStation 5s, for their Series X. There's one console actually taking advantage of those TV fully, whether it's with the upcoming Dolby Vision support for games. You get that now with movies on Xbox, but for games, and you get it on Disney Plus and all of that. You like it's just crazy. You know what I'm saying? Like you got Dolby Vision, you got VRR, you got 120 frames per second support. This is the shit that people bought TVs for. One of the consoles is actually utilizing all of that, and that's just facts. That's not hating. That's just the truth. And it's utilizing it for stuff that people already put money into. Like if you already bought Battlefield 1, 4, 5, Mirror's Edge, all of these games now, all of your games just got better. You could go back, or whenever you do decide to go back, you're going to have a brand new experience because the games are going to run better than they ever did before. That's awesome. This is what I'm talking about, respecting the legacy, caring about the legacy of gaming. They're showing initiative where everybody else isn't. Or they're talking, saying, yeah, we care, but they ain't showing nothing to prove that they care. You know what I'm saying? And the reason why they don't is because they'll continue to nickel and dime us with remasters and this and that and this and that. And it's like, bro, when you can do all this stuff on a hardware level, I'm glad that somebody's doing it. So now I can say you bullshitting to the other side, whether it's Xbox, whether it was Xbox, PlayStation, or Nintendo, whoever did it, It's Xbox in this case, but whoever did it, you could have pointed at the others and said y'all bullshitting over there because y'all could be doing this, but instead y'all choosing to do that because y'all would rather nickel and dime us and do good for us. That's facts right there. That's not hating. That's not being like, oh yeah, yo, you just being a fanboy for Xbox. No, that's the truth. That's tried and true, right there. You see what I'm saying? Like, and here's the kicker: all these games you didn't even need to own them. They're all in Game Pass, so you could just play them through that. And look, they're all gonna play better. So if you're just jumping into this ecosystem now, and you never played all of these games, well, now you have the option to play all of these games included with your subscription, and they're all gonna play better than they would on any other hardware. Probably even your PC, because your PC probably wouldn't even be able to run these games at pretend 4K, let alone 120 frames. You know what I'm saying? So it's a super, 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 super duper W. This is a West Coast W, and not just the fucking Ice Cube W. It's like when Dub C used to do it. He used to throw that shit up hard. You know what I'm saying? Like Mac 10 in them. But anyway, yeah, man, that's awesome to see. So, and other awesome news. Now, this is awesome news that came out of the bad news. You see what I'm saying? Because the good news of PlayStation this week was good news, but it wasn't really. It was just, oh, cool, they're not going to do that dumb shit that they was going to do. Whereas Xbox, it was like, oh, cool, they're not going to do that dumb shit they was going to do, which is raise the price of Xbox Live Gold. And then something good came out of it. That's where the news was like, oh, that's good. You're not going to do the thing, and we won. We didn't even know we was in this battle, but I don't know, we came out of it with a W, and that's that Xbox games are finally, like Nintendo, like PlayStation, yes, they would last to the party, which we all shitted on them for this for forever. The whole Wii U generation, I was going in on them about this. Like, yo, free ain't free over there. Free wasn't free, but now free is free, and all the free to play games, your Paladins, your Fortnite, your Call of Duty Warzone, which that upgrade is, that whole event was beautiful. Like all of that, just in time for that brand new season. What is it? Season 3, right, of Warzone now? Well, season 3 of Black Ops Warzone. Let's just say that. Yeah, all of that. It's free now. You don't need Xbox Live. Just play. Activision account, sign in. Whatever damn game it is, whether it's Epic account you need to sign in with for Fortnite. These free games now are actually goddamn free. And yeah, like that's just a beautiful thing. I know some people be like, nah, like they're late to the party. I don't care when they got here. They here. And they got there just in time at the beginning of the generation. How they got there? Lame as hell that they was trying to pull this stuff, but this is how we got here. But I'm going to still say it's a W at the end of the day. We won. You know what I'm saying? We 100% won. So, yeah, that's awesome. And, yeah, man, like I was saying about Call of Duty, I guess I'll segue to Call of Duty real quick because I do want to talk about this a little bit. Yeah, this event, the way they did it, I'm going to tell you why it was great real quick. Even if you don't care about Call of Duty, this is why you should hear this. A lot of the times, with these big AAA games, we always complain about the fact that all the cool shit happens in the cinematic. When I went on Call of Duty the other day, right, this was the day before the new season kicked off. There was only one mode to play, right? No plunder, so I couldn't play plunder. It was just basically, it wasn't even a battle royale mode. There was no circle getting smaller. It was just fight. And it was basically fight until everybody became zombies, and then the last people were basically running to this one area, trying to survive. You couldn't survive. And and everybody else was just zombies trying to kill those people. So it was crazy. It was an outbreak, which they were teasing for the last month. You know what I mean? Like every time you would play, there would be like this warning that would pop up on the screen. So this outbreak happened. And it's been happening slowly over the last, I want to say like 2 months, where there was different areas on the map where zombies would come out. And it was super cool. And you could go there and you could get a ton of money for killing zombies. And it was just mayhem. Like if you wanted a zombie mode to play, but you didn't have Call of Duty Black Ops like me, because I don't really mess with Treyarch Call of Duty games no more. I'm all Infinity War. You know, if it ain't Infinity War, I'm basically not picking it up. Yeah. If you wanted a zombie mode, don't own Black Ops, there was areas all over the war zone where you can go and have a zombie experience. So that all basically went crazy, and the whole outbreak happened. So the way these matches ended, since there was no winners, it was just y'all in there just going crazy for a few hours, right? It was for about like 6 or 8 hours, I think that was happening. So at the end of those matches, a nuclear bomb hit. Boom. Destroyed the whole goddamn Verdansk. I don't know how you say the damn name of that stage. But anyway, they destroyed the whole thing. The whole thing obliterated it. And you would just go in and you could just replay that. You can still level up. You can still try to complete your battle pass and all that. It was cool. After a few hours, though, That was over. So now all you had was the Resurgence map. So this map was a little bit away from the Warzone map. But when you was playing Resurgence, it was nighttime, and you can see the goddamn mushroom cloud from the nuclear bomb that happened on Verdansk over there, like clearly animated. So everything was happening as a gameplay experience. This whole story was being played out as a gameplay experience. And then after that was all said and done, the new season started, and now the whole map basically, it was like a matter of fact, it was honestly like Zack Snyder's Justice League, where the Flash was like, the time is now, and started running and started rewinding time. They actually did that, where the nuclear bomb basically, it all rewinded, but it stopped right at the explosion. So now on the island, you see the nuclear bomb always. There's an area in the background where it's still going off, and you can see that all this time rewinded, and it's there. It's like this bubble in that area. And it basically rewinded back to 1984. You know what I'm saying? And it's not trash like that Wonder Woman movie. It's actually awesome. The whole map is different. It has a different like a very like old school color palette, almost like a Band of Brothers or Saving Private Ryan's, where you go back in the day, they just like mute the colors a bit to make it feel older. I guess muted colors feel older. They do that in the game, and it's just awesome, yo. Like the whole layout of the place is great the way they did it. And it was just amazing, like to see that they did all of this in game. It could have easily just been a basic cinematic and say, oh yeah, zombies broke out. And yeah, this happened. Oh yeah, now we rewinded time. No, this all happened within the game. You know what I mean? And then they gave you the cinematic to show that time rewinded. And then once you play, you in there and you see that goddamn mushroom cloud now in real time, always there on the map in that area. Like it's so cool. So now you know you playing this rewind time, and you know what happens in 2021 in the future. This whole place goes kabloom. But yeah, it's super cool. Like the place where the dam used to be, now that whole area is open. You could actually drive through there. There's these giant bases and everything. It's crazy. Like the amount of changes they brought to it was super cool. Now listen, I've spent over 1,000 hours with Call of Duty Modern Warfare / Warzone. I don't see myself stopping anytime soon. It's the game that I always go back to. I play single player experiences, beat them, and in between that, I'm playing Warzone. It's either that or I'm playing Forza Horizon nowadays. You know what I'm saying? Like it's just crazy. It's absolutely crazy the way they went about this. And I know Fortnite has been doing stuff like this for a long time. You know, crazy events and everything. So Fortnite players like, yo, that wasn't shit compared to us. I know I've been in some of the Fortnite, events, and listen, I'm always jealous the fact that y'all got Ripley to play as, Xenomorphs to play as, Predators, Terminators, Batman, Aquaman, Captain America, Thanos running around, Wolverine was in there. Like that's awesome. Like I know Warzone's like, oh yeah, it's more realistic. Man, you got goddamn Sword Dude running around, you know what I'm saying? You got Leatherface running around from Chainsaw Massacre. You got all these crazy characters running around. I think there was even like a Ripley-like suit for one of the characters, which if I knew, I would have got it, but I didn't know. But anyway, like, yeah, you could throw in crazy characters and different IP in there. The game makes enough money. Activision makes enough money. They just probably don't care to pay and do all that fun stuff. They're like, yeah, let's keep it a Fortnite. It's colorful, so they can do that. We can't do that because we're realistic. Like, that's lame if that is the case. Just saying. See, look, I can shit on stuff I like too. You know what I mean? I always see room for growth in anything. Like even if I sat there, like the Xbox ecosystem is fantastic right now. But if I sat there and was, oh yeah, so all right, what else could we add to it? Oh yeah, of course I could do that. I could add to it because you can always make things better. But it seems like a lot of other console manufacturers like to go backwards, and I'm not with it no more. You know what I'm saying? Like I've done that and I've accepted that in the past. I'm not with it. I'm not gonna accept new hardware that's doing less than previous hardware ever again. You know what I'm saying? Like, and I'm damn sure not gonna accept it from anybody but Nintendo because they're the most hard-headed, and because I have this, this connection to their software, which I love. Like, and even that, don't get it twisted, I ain't happy about it. Like, you know what I mean? Like, that's just being 100% honest. Anyway, speaking of Nintendo, because I feel like this podcast was pretty much all, how do I put this? The other guys. Not much to speak about Nintendo this week, except for this Luigi, Lego set that's coming out sometime in August, which isn't really video games. So I really don't want to cover that. I don't care to really cover that and talk about it. But it's coming out in August. If you're interested for that kind of thing, check it out, Good for you. So yeah, before I get into this Mortal Kombat review, let me check out some of these damn questions that I got from the Discord. So yeah, I just came in Discord. And I just saw your post Wolves Den. I know you're gonna be listening to this, and you're playing Wind Waker again. And I'm jealous. And that screenshot is goddamn. Hold on, let me write it in. Beautiful, beautiful. That's what it is. Goddamn, that's awesome. All right, so let's get to these questions. And while y'all at it, you know what I'm saying? Let me know what y'all thought of Mortal Kombat. I'm sure I'm gonna ask y'all that later, but let me know in the comment section what you thought of Mortal Kombat. All right, so April 21st, April 22nd, April 22nd. All right, so these are all the questions I got. They're all coming from Jack Jam Jim. So shout out to you, Jack. And let's get to these questions. All right, so have we ever seen an ass beating so bad that the box wars is already over, like the one we are seeing right now? Xbox Series is beating the shit out of PlayStation 5, and it hasn't even been a year. This is Godzilla beating the shit out of Kong. Bad. Damn, that's bad. This is something else. Yeah, some people would be like, beating the shit. You ain't see those sales? We ain't talking about sales at all. See, Jack ain't talking about sales. I ain't talking about sales either. When I say, yeah, it's really bad. It's worse than this is how you trade games. It's bad. And if it was the other way around, if everything that Xbox has done to this day, right, to this day, and what day is it today? It is, all right, the 24th. To this day, everything Xbox done, if it was Sony, Xbox would be completely done. Done. There's nothing they could do, nothing they could say, generation over. But since it's Sony, it's people want Sony to win, and they pamper Sony. Of course not. And that would have been the same thing, would have to a lesser extent with Nintendo, because people are fine letting Nintendo fail. Clearly, we've seen that before. But nah, with Sony, bro, like, yo, they just ain't having it. You know what I'm saying? And yeah, they getting stomped out. And people say, what you mean? They got exclusives. Like, no, they don't, man. Demon Souls is not a fucking exclusive. It's an old ass game. Spider-Man is not an exclusive. I'm tired of hearing people keep saying that shit. Like, oh, Spider-Man's exclusive. No, it's not. It's on PlayStation 4. Why the fuck do y'all get to change up the rules for y'all shit? Like, y'all got nothing. And all the shit that they claiming is coming out this year that I've been saying is gonna get delayed since the day of their announcement, it's gonna get delayed. And when it don't come out, it's really gonna be bad. And Return to ain't enough. And we all know that if Return to was multiplat, it'd be in the same category with Outriders. And I'm not saying Outriders whack. What I'm saying is this level of pretending to care because it's a Sony first party thing. Like, come on, son. Like, that's real. It's no different if it would have been Xbox, if it would have been Nintendo. You throw exclusive on it, it automatically gets this extra mystique on it. You know what I mean? Like, people treat it like it's something better. You know, or they'll treat it like it's something that it ain't shit because they're fanboys. Bayonetta 2. They all love Bayonetta 1 when it was on their console. Once it became exclusive to Nintendo, fuck that. Fuck Bayonetta. Fuck Cereza. I don't give a fuck about Cereza. Like, that's what it turned into. Like, you've seen this a million times. I can say this 1,000 times. People claim it ain't true, but it's the truth. Like, I ain't saying that unless it's true. But anyway, yeah, man, this is a real, this is really bad. Like, I don't even know how people could, like in their right mind be like, yeah, I'm going there. Like, if you think this generation ain't gonna be fire for the Xbox, you smoking crack, bro. Like, straight up. Like, it's crazy. It's not even gonna be like, it's not even gonna like be pretty. It's gonna be real crazy. Like, they not playing games. And I've been saying this for a long time. I said, yo, the setup that they doing right now for the next generation is scary. And now we in that generation. And shit about to kick off. You know, the first year of none of these generations ain't shit. So people acting surprised, they bullshitting. 2013 was whack for the PlayStation 4 and the Xbox One. Don't lie. You had bullshit like Killzone, which gone. You had bullshit like the 2-hour fucking what was that shit called? Electric Boy over there. You know what I'm saying? Infamous. There you go. You had that shit. Like, it was whack. Like, it's not hanging. This shit was corny. Like, you had the order. That shit was whack too. 12. Oh, look at the graphic. That shit was 2 minutes. I was gonna say 12 minutes. Not even. That's gonna be hopefully a good game. That shit was 2 minutes, that game. Trash. You know what I mean? Like, so the first year always whack. Look at 2005. The Xbox 360 was out. Nobody cared until Gears of War came out. You know, what did people really have to play? They had fucking, was it Dead Rising? I think that was like the one big thing on the 360 that was like, ooh, special. Like, look, all the zombies being, you know, put on the stage at one time. Like, ooh, you know what I mean? But then it wasn't until after, when PlayStation 3 came out, the Wii came out, where that generation basically started for the 360. This is nothing new. You know what I mean? Nothing new at all. And then on top of that, now you got a pandemic and all of that stuff and all of this, in which people gonna be like, yeah, and that's why those games that you was talking about on PlayStation gonna get delayed. No. You gotta understand. We were already in a pandemic, and they told you these games are coming out next year. They lied to you so that you buy the console swearing that it's going to have this great first-party lineup. Hell, go listen to people talk about PlayStation. They'll still act like the shit has a great first-party lineup. How? I can actually play first-party games going from Xbox One, 360, Xbox One to Xbox Series. But yes, shit, you got better first-party. Get the fuck out of here. But hey, listen, that's a conversation they'll have, because having Uncharted and the God of War games means the greatest first-party ever. Because what are the other first-party that people care about? Because the developer's dead. And don't tell me Ratchet and Clank, you ain't give a fuck. You ain't give a fuck when the movie came out. You don't give a fuck now. That's what nobody talks about it now. But once it comes back into the forefront, they're going to be like, yeah, they did that one. I forgot. Yeah. Like, y'all ain't care about that shit at all. But hey, at least it got good graphics, and you're going to pretend now, oh, it's the greatest shit in the world. Like, come on, man. Shit is cartoon to me. Like, it's just hilarious to me. It ain't realistic. Like, people don't be real. Like, they be mad fake out here. That's why I can't relate, and that's why they can't relate to me. Because he be doing too much of that real talk. He be going in too hard. Yeah, I know, I get it. You want that kumbaya shit. You got everybody else in the industry to listen to. You got all of them. They all gonna lie to you. They all gonna pamper your favorite. They ain't gonna be real. They ain't gonna call Jim Ryan a sucker, even though he is a sucker. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, anybody who shit on the people, you a sucker to me, period. But anyway, they ain't gonna do that. You wanna know why? Because they got ties to these companies and whatever, bro. Whatever. I'm gonna always say the real. The shit that people won't say, because it makes them uncomfortable. But anyway, next question from Jack. What will it take for Sony drones to realize they've been supporting the bullshit company? Nothing. Before I even read the rest of it, nothing. There's nothing that you can do. They are what they are. Like, listen, all fan base has this thing where it's like, yo, you can do anything. Do people dirty, give people their shit back in garbage bags, drop people from the ceiling and be like, the show must go on. You could be racist. You could be a Trump supporter. All of that shit. You could do anything and people will still rock with something. If they want to rock with it, they want to like it. Yeah, you know what I reference is that whack-ass company. AEW way better. Anybody saying otherwise, fuck out of here, you dick-riding bitch. Anyway, that's just the way I feel. Sorry if that was too real for y'all, but it's the way I feel because I don't fuck with WWE. Because motherfuckers is whack as fuck. Anyway, but no, it wasn't the McMahon's fault why I got this garbage bag. Yeah, and it wasn't the McMahon's fault why CM Punk got his goddamn papers at his wedding. It wasn't nobody's fault when, like, please, bro, we could do this all day every year, slapping paper out of people's hands, talking about, you think that was my fault? Like, yeah, motherfucker. Like, but we live in a world where most people are pussy. So anyway, of course they wouldn't be able to relate to the real shit that I be putting out there. Anyway. Yeah, they're a bullshit company straight up. Is it gonna be when the PlayStation brand tells them to go eat shit sandwich? No. What you mean? They told them to go get 2 jobs. That was the most biggest level of disrespect you can get. And they was like, hey, yeah, cool. You know what I'm saying? Like, the type of bitching these people is crazy. But anyway, or will it be when they tell them to get a second job again? Oh yeah, there you go. You wrote it. Yeah, that's my point. You know what I'm saying? Like, nothing's gonna take it. When people want to like something, they're gonna like it no matter what. They'll accept the ignorance. They'll accept the anything. You know what I'm saying? They'll accept anything just to justify that thing they like, that they've been watching for their whole lives. I watch it my whole lives, so I can't now shit on this thing because I watched it my whole life. Like, so what? When your life is gone, that stupid shit's still gonna be there, and they ain't gonna care about you. They ain't gonna do no in memoriam to you. You understand? Like, fuck out of here. Like, I ain't loved it my whole life, so I gotta keep loving it. You fucking crazy. If something turns whack that I loved all the time, then shit is whack. You know what I'm saying? WB was one of my favorite movie studios now. Now WB is fucking garbage. Ever since the Hobbit movies, they've been garbage. Since they put that crazy mandate to make Peter Jackson make that movie in 1 year. 3 movies. Oh, you know what I mean? Like, and then people like to just shit on the shit like if it wasn't WB. Like, that's where it started, bro. Like, that's where it started. And then the last movie, the third in the trilogy, what would have been Return of the King, they went in there and chopped it up. That's what they did to Battle of the Five Armies. I'm not saying that movie was Return of the King, but it's the same situation. Imagine they would have went in there and chopped up the fucking 15 Oscar winner. That's what they would have did, because these people are suckers. They would have tell you, oh, we 2-hour mandate. How you ain't gonna show funeral scenes to characters that you built up from the beginning of the trilogy? Makes no sense. You know what I'm saying? That's WB for you. That's WB. That is why we need Batman versus Superman Ultimate Edition, where it's like, oh, we see they cut out all the Superman. Because like I've been saying since, I've been saying this my whole life. Anybody who knows me, know I've been saying this. WB do not give a fuck about Superman. They don't care about Superman. They don't know what to do with Superman. They don't like Superman. That's real fucking talk. That's why they just throw Superman on TV. Lois Lane, They don't want to do the homework to actually do the challenging stories. It's the reason why you never get a Batman movie with a Robin in it. or a family unit because they scared. They want to keep rinsing and repeating the only thing that worked. So what you gonna get again? Batman Begins remix with Rob Pattinson. That's just what it is. But you know, that's just real shit. And guess what? Batman's my favorite thing, and I can shit on it because I'm comfortable doing that. Because when I see sucker shit, I'm gonna call sucker shit. So yeah, WB was one of the favorite studios in the world, but now they just chopped up shit left and right. Or did you think Godzilla vs. Kong was a perfect movie? Could you not feel that they literally went in there with a chainsaw and chopped that whole shit up Leatherface style? Because they did the same thing with the movie that I'm about to talk about right now, and that's Mortal Kombat. They chopped that shit up to smithereens. If you thought that movie was anywhere near what it was actually supposed to be, you bugging. You know what I'm saying? You're absolutely bugging. Like, that movie was chopped up bad. It was ridiculous what they did to that movie too. Like, this is what WB do. So yeah, as a studio, they fucking suck. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna just call it the way it is. Anyway, let's keep it moving. Yeah, you asked. Also, does it benefit Nintendo to drop a mini direct or any long, over 5-minute video presentation with E3 coming in like 6 weeks' time? To me, it doesn't. It depends. If what they want to get out, let's say it's like Mario Tennis stuff, which is supposed to come out right around E3. I said tennis, my bad. It's been so many years of just that. Mario Golf. You know, maybe they'll want to do one for that where they just show all the features of Mario Golf, see like, you know, what kind of modes they're gonna have, even specific things to the launch date, you know, that they want to maybe announce that we don't know. I'm sure there's things about that game we don't know. So they can do something for that. If they want to do another indie show, I guess they could, because it never hurts to highlight indie games anytime, because honestly, the indie games highlighted during E3 all get lost in the shuffle. They don't get lost in the shuffle here, because I usually always be like, yo, bang, bang, bang. I go through all the shit that I thought was cool. You know what I'm saying? Like that year that Ori was revealed, and I was like, yeah, that was the best game of E3. You know, other than, I think that was the year like Splatoon was showing off. I was like, yeah, that's the, you know, those are the two best looking games. And people was like, Ori, what the fuck is Ori? Because it was just in a quick little montage. You know what I'm saying? And it's just games that I like latch onto. Like, ooh, that game looks great. I can't wait to play that. You know what I mean? Like, Echo Generation, a game we've been seeing for a while now, pop up in a lot of Microsoft events. And I actually did play this game, you know, the demo of it. And it's an RPG, and it's mad fun to me, you know what I mean? It reminds me of Stranger Things, but it has this, like, art style. I guess it's kind of similar to, like, Tourist in a way, but more detailed, more dirty, more gritty, you know? I just did compare it to Stranger Things. So, yeah, like, you know, like there's indie games that need to be highlighted at any time so that they don't get lost in the shuffle. So they could do another indie show, you know what I mean, between now and then. But hopefully, I don't know. I won't even say hopefully they don't, because I mean, shit, it's still, we got a whole month of May. They could do something in May. Why not? I like having constant news from these companies coming out, so it'd be cool. Like, you see Microsoft, is always something new going on. Oh, this new game's going into Game Pass. Oh, that game got FPS boost. Oh, this, like, it's always something. It's like you're just drowning in stuff to do. Like, it's crazy. And then games getting added, and you're like, damn, I'm still going through these. It's a good feeling to have. You know what I'm saying? It's like a backlog that I didn't create for myself, that they create for me, and I'm just like, damn, I want to play that. I want to play that. I want to play that. It's cool. Listen, this is life. You're never gonna get to everything. You're never gonna get to everything in life. You can't watch everything on Netflix. You can't experience every movie. You can't experience every country, every food, every. You can't. That's life, and that's the one part that sucks about it. So when people like to be like, yeah, see, that's what I don't like about Game Pass. It's too much stuff, and then stuff goes away. Like, yeah, whatever. Make up whatever excuses you want. Anyway, let's get to this final question before I get to this Mortal Kombat review. And the question is, like I said, from Jack Jam. And shout out to you for sending in questions this week. Is it safe to say that Sakamoto is given too much credit for Metroid and not enough is given to Gunpei Yokoi, more specifically, and Satoru Okada? Did the Virtue Boy really cause that much damage to Yokoi's real legacy? Listen, man, I ain't trying to throw no conspiracies out there, but you know, a lot of Nintendo fans said for a lot of time that they didn't believe that car accident was a mistake. I'm just saying, I ain't saying that. People said that all throughout history, you know, since it happened. I'm not saying that, like I said. People said that. But yeah, I think the bad blow was definitely bad between the two. Yeah, Sakamoto definitely doesn't deserve all of the credit for Metroid, because you've seen what his Metroid games are when he does it by himself. And listen, I know, there's always people going to be like, oh, Other M was a good game, according to you. But as a Metroid game, this is not an opinion. As a Metroid game, that game is factually bad. Because what makes a Metroid game Metroid is the thing that makes Metroid be so damn good that there's a whole goddamn genre based around its name, Metroidvania. Yeah, that was all lost. Like, Other M isn't even a Metroidvania game. Like, it isn't. It's fucking awful. You know what I'm saying? With a shitty storyline that doesn't understand Samus. Remember, this is the guy. Like, trust me, I'm a diehard Metroid fan, so everything I'm saying ain't a lie. It's the truth. I don't know who you know who's a Metroid fan. I promise you, I'm equal Metroid fan as they are. If that's the most diehard, me too. You understand? And I'm gonna tell you right now, he used to badmouth Retro Studios, throw shade at Retro Studios, say shit like, "Oh yeah, those games aren't canon. That's a different universe, different timeline. Like Zelda has multiple timelines. That's a different time." These are all different statements. I'm just throwing them all together as one. Metroid, Samus was in the bounty hunt. Oh yeah, they make it a little bit too rough. What was the other one? Their games in between, Metroid, they can't make games outside of being in between. What is it? In between Metroid 2 and Super Metroid, basically, that those games take place, right? I'm like, bro, he's been doing this forever. You know what I'm saying? Throwing shade at Samus, whatever. And I'm like, bro, you can't make a Metroid game better than Metroid Prime 2 or 3. And Super Metroid ain't better than those. None of the Metroid games are. Those are Metroid. Those are the best games. You can say, oh yeah, they're under the Prime brand. Cool. So the Prime games are the best ones. But Super Metroid, no, it's not. Super Metroid is not the best. Stop lying to yourself. Mechanically, it's not even the best because they added new things as the new games came in, like ledge grabbing and all that stuff. That doesn't make the games better. Yes, it does. This is the reason why Mario and Mario Odyssey controls better than every other 3D Mario game. You wanna know why? Because games get better. Developers get better. You know what I'm saying? It's like an artist. Yeah, he could draw something today, and in 5 years, you tell him to draw that same thing, it's gonna have more details, more shadow work, way better. Oh yeah, but I like the way the old one looked. Cool, but the new one is better. You know what I'm saying? Like, fuck out of here, man. I'm tired of people trying to keep these series in the bubble. If it was up to certain fanboys, because this is what they are, and I might be a diehard Metroid fan, but don't ever put me in a bracket with one of them, because I'm not them. I don't want Metroid to stay this niche little franchise where, Samus, you start the game, you lose your ability, you go through, ooh, I got super missiles, I can open now these doors that are red. Ooh, I got this new, fuck that. That shit is whack. It's time to start a Metroid game with Samus fully featured and then build on that. That's what we need. This idea, listen, what these guys asked for, honestly, on my mama, what these guys asked for is for Star Fox. You know why Star Fox is dead? Because when Star Fox 64 ended, I said the next Star Fox game, the whole single player should be 4 players. Like the 4-player mode in Star Fox 64. Yeah, I was ahead of my time. Yeah, hardware probably couldn't allow that. But this is what I was saying. Literally, while I was, unlocking Star Fox and getting, the on-ground stuff for the multiplayer. These are the facts. Like, I was like, yo, the future Star Fox is 4 players going through the adventure. Like an arcade game, rinse and repeat, you and your friends trying to get higher scores, do better, higher difficulty levels, and all of that. Replay value. Nintendo never did that. What happened to Star Fox? They kept it right there with Star Fox 64. Your daddy died. Oh my god, you see a ghost of your daddy. That's Star Fox. Fuck out of here. That shit is whack. That's what Star Fox Adventure was the last good thing Star Fox actually did. Because at least you could say, oh yeah, it was just thrown together. Yeah, but it's still, at least it tried something. At least it introduced some new characters. Like, what the fuck has Star Fox done? Well, the Command on the DS, which I really liked and people hated on, they actually tried stuff there. They had an online mode and everything. I was like, all right, look, they trying. Then they went right back to the 64 goddamn well. So if this is the shade I want to throw. It's no different from Halo guys who cry because, oh my god, look at these skins they add into Halo 3. Oh my god, this gun doesn't sound like Halo, doesn't it? Like, yo, they try to police this series and not let it grow. Like, shut the fuck up. Like, you had, like, if it was up to you, this series would be dead like Star Fox. It's no different from the people who you got out there who act like Breath of the Wild ain't a real Zelda game. You still got those guys out there who are hardcore Zelda fans who really gone down that hill. It's not a real Zelda game. I'm like, okay, cool, it's not. Then Ocarina of Time isn't either. Even though it's just a 3D version of Link to the Past, it's not a real Zelda game because I don't like the view. Yeah. No facts here, just my opinion. I don't like the view, so I'm going to throw it on everybody. Blanket statement. It's not a real Zelda game. It's not a real Zelda game. You know what I'm saying? Like, this is what they do. Oh, that's not a real 3D Mario game. Remember when 3D World wasn't a real 3D Mario game? This is what corny-ass fans do. I've never been a corny-ass fan. I want to see my series grow, flourish, not flounder. That's the other F. You know what I'm saying? And here's the other one, you fucking losers. Like, always trying to, like, nah, and that's real loser mentality. Like, don't think that I'm playing. I'm really calling you losers, like, genuinely. Like, you keeping series down from growing, reasons series dies because of y'all, because developers feel, oh no, we can't do this, because if we go too far, then it's gonna, it's gonna be scrutinized, it's gonna be Like, it's funny when I see Resident Evil fans now, in hindsight, be like, oh yeah, Resident Evil 6 was one of the best Resident Evil. Now, I never played it. I can't speak on it. I know it was the more action-oriented one. But it's just funny. I'm like, y'all hated on it 1,000 times, and now y'all want to put it on the pedestal. Damn, where did I see this before? Majora's Mask. Don't believe me? Go look at the sales of Majora's Mask on 64, and then tell me that I'm lying. Because I spoke to people. You know what I'm saying? And people hated on Majora's Mask because of the 3-day thing. Because, you know what I'm saying? Oh, it's not an Ocarina of Time clone. Come on, it's the same shit. Like, people always gonna be, you know, trying to police series, and that's what Sakamoto is. He's these people. He has that loser mentality, and people are like, "Oh my God, you going in?" I'm sorry, I called Jim Ryan a loser, corny dude. This dude Sakamoto, corny. Look, Sakamoto does cool stuff. He does good work, but let's not get it twisted. Let's not get it twisted. They haven't moved the Metroid series. That's cowardice on their part. Period. They remade Samus Returns, instead of making a brand new Metroid. That's cowardice. You know what I'm saying? People say, oh no, so that they could get their feet wet and understand how to make a Metroid game. Cool. That was like 5 years ago. Where is it? Games say stop. It's a 2D Metroid game. Please. Like, this levels of fanboy that I just can't accept right now in 2021. Like, stop. They could have got it out. They just didn't want to. They didn't care. Period. Like, it is what it is. You know what I'm saying? Like, we know they're making a Metroid Prime. Is it going well? We'll never know. Until, you know, we know whether it's canceled, it's never happening, or it's coming out. All right, so shit was going good. You know what I'm saying? Clearly it wasn't going good the first time. Like I said it wouldn't, because I said nobody else could do it. But anyway, that's just me. You know what I'm saying? But what do I know? I just tend to call these things years in advance. But yeah, this guy, he's bugging. You know what I'm saying? Like, he doesn't deserve the credit at all. Anybody who doesn't move a series forward doesn't deserve credit at all. People can shit on Ridley Scott all they want because of Prometheus and Covenant. But I like the fact that he gave this shit an origin and did something. And I want to see the finished conclusion that leaves us on LV-426. You understand? Like, I like the fact that this dude won. Like, people hate Covenant because the villain won. It's no different. Why? It's like, yo, nobody wants heavy movies nowadays. Once it's a little bit heavy, they're like, oh no, it's too dark, it's too gritty, I don't like it, it needs to be fun, I want to laugh. Corny. Like, I like the fact that, like, yo, that dude won. Now, clearly, something happens to this dude where all his eggs are left, or maybe he's still running through the universe even as the other Alien movies are happening. But it was still cool. It was something being done with the IP versus nothing happening. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's why I'm happy to see the comic out that Marvel's putting out. Like, do that, Marvel, because Disney, you own this shit, and you can make this shit big again. I love Aliens. You know what I'm saying? Like, Aliens to me is the best sci-fi damn thing ever created. So, yeah, man, like, anyway, I'm not going to limit it and be like, yo, nah, don't do this, don't do that. No, Metroid shouldn't have online multiplayer. It's supposed to be a single-player experience only. And no, there shouldn't be any characters you talk to. Remember, Metroid Prime 3 ain't a real Metroid game. It's a wannabe Halo. I played through all the Halo series now, and I can say y'all bullshitting. Y'all 100% was bullshitting with those statements. You telling me the start of that game wasn't like Halo? So, because a bounty hunter who has existed before Master Chief was on the actual Federation ship who has been talked about before Master Chief, was actually on the console now with hardware that they can pull this stuff off. Finally, because Nintendo was behind a lot of times with their tech. Am I wrong? Am I right? All right, so, like, not even that. It's just like, yo, the series moved on to this part where this story was a giant space opera, the end of this giant phase-on conclusion. Oh, nah, it should just be Samus by herself. Like, yo, you got 30 games already doing that. Granted, it's not 30 games. If it was, I would be a far more happier Metroid fan. But still, you got a ton of games already with that. And it's like, yeah, we want to keep this trope. But then they'll do that, it'll come out, and they'll be like, yeah, it was cool, but, you know, it wasn't the same as that. And I'm like, listen, I'm not one who sits here and be like, oh, yeah, let's pander to other people who potentially may not even care about the series. Right? So just pander to me. You get what I'm saying? Like, I'm not going to be one of those people who sits there and be like, yeah, try to grab this mass audience. No, I'm not saying that when I say online play. I'm saying that for me, for the Metroid fans. Now, if other people want to jump in because it has online play, cool. But, like, the experience, everything, like, yo, we've done that kind of Metroid game 1,000 times that people keep saying Metroid needs to stay like. And guess what? It hasn't worked. So why come out and do it again? Like, don't get it twisted. When I asked for Metroid Prime, and I've said this a million times, and I want to say this again just to be clear. When I asked for Metroid Prime 4, never once, and this is a fact, there's no time when you're going to hear me talk about Metroid Prime 4 and me saying I want Metroid Prime 1 again. I don't. I never wanted it. That's why I love 2 with Dark Ether, because it was like, yeah, it put pressure on me now. I just finished Prime 1. Now I can go into Prime 2, and it's a harder game. It's a darker story. Cool. The middle should be darker. If we're going to do a trilogy, the middle should be darker. Just like Two Towers, just like BVS, even though It ain't a trilogy, baby. It's supposed to be 5 movies. Let's restore that Snyder Cut. But anyway, the middle is gonna be darker. Cool, and that's what it was. It was great. You know what I'm saying? Oh, it was claustrophobic to some people. I get it. Oh yeah, they didn't like it because of that. Cool, but you didn't play, so you can't really say you didn't like it. Let you play it from beginning to end. You can't really say, oh yeah, Metro Prime was better. Didn't even play Prime 2. But anyway, it got better and better. The story progressed and got deeper, and the Federation was there. They were in Metroid Prime 2. I didn't hear no hoopla about the Federation getting killed by all the Aang. Everybody was fine with that. You know what I'm saying? But anyway, man, let me stop, man. I'm going too much into this now. The point is, yeah, he doesn't deserve all the credit because, if you want to give him the credit, then the credit is that he's failed this series. If that's the credit you want to give. And I'm saying that as a person who owns every Metroid Prime, every Metroid game ever. You know what I'm saying? Except the remake on the DS and Metroid 2 on the Game Boy, because I don't own any Game Boy games no more. No, that's a lie. I own Pokemon Silver still. I do own that. But anyway, yeah, man, that's my response to all your questions. Thanks for the questions. And now we're going to get to the next segment of the show.